Welcome back, you degenerates, to the number one gambling podcast on the world. This is Betting the Diagonal. I'm here with Morgan and my buddy Greg. Greg is now officially, I'm guessing, we've had him on every week. We're gonna
Yeah,
officially name
He's
him
he's one of us.
we're gonna officially
yeah.
name him a co-host, Morgan.
I agree. I
Officially,
think it's
what?
time.
I think it's time. We're gonna name you the third co-host of the show.
Oh, guys, I'm honored. I really
Oh.
am.
Well, new
We
year.
needed a third chair. Well, you see, the thing is, we needed a second good gambler since the main co-host is just terrible. So
I am tilting.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
needed
It's
to get
Billy's
someone
in a tough
credible.
spot. Billy's in a
It-
tough spot. Everyone could see that from the banner behind him, and he'll have more to say about that.
Yes. Real quick, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. You know, from me to everybody else, hope you guys happy and healthy. Hope you guys didn't get corona. And while people were making these New Year's resolutions, I was at home. I don't know about you guys. I stayed home. I was studying my picks that eventually lost. I was watching more basketball. I'm trying to find the right games, and I can't find them right now. Well, I just wanted to go into a quick recap of last week because I don't remember the last time I've ever been cucked so hard in my life. Every single game, it felt like I was on the right side. Like I did my homework, I did everything right. You know, missed free throws at the end. When I'm watching Creighton game, they give the ball to Mahoney, back to back possessions, missed the front end of a 1-and-1, did not cover by a half a point. Fucking what was it yesterday?
Can't forget West Virginia.
Oh my god, I'm still mad. I don't even want to. I don't even want to. We should, denounce the state of West Virginia after what they did to me yesterday. Come back from 18 points to I had Oklahoma State plus 2.5 or 2, and I had the money line. It was free. They were up 20 the entire game. Then out of nowhere, they fall apart. They stop making their shots. Oh my god, it's been terrible. It's been rough water so far. Also, I had a guaranteed under. It was under. Wasn't even close. I turned the game up. I thought it was over. One team comes back, sends it into overtime. It's absurd. It's absurd. You can't make this stuff up. Like the week I've had, it's amazing that my record is still 50%.
My
It's hard.
favorite part about this past week was I made sure I screenshotted these messages. I got the text from Billy Friday evening. The first one was just saying, I love this fucking card. He later went on to say, I am rock hard about this card I have right now. I need these games to start because I keep adding games.
Yep.
He then proceeded to lose just about every single one.
Yep.
It could not have been any better.
It was cuck after cuck after cuck. And like if you go back and look at my card and then see the results of those games, you will see it. It's like you go through like the game log. It like even today I had Kent State over Toledo. I texted Morgan with like what 4 minutes left in the game. I said I can see myself getting cucked right now, and there it is. Yep, it's all in the print. I'm honest about it. I'm not just making shit up. Like this is my money I'm losing. I'm not just throwing picks out here to say, oh, I'm just gonna gamble away. Hope everybody wins their own money. No, this is my money. I'm gambling. It's not like I work hard for this money, boys.
What was the Toledo line? I know they won by 2.
That's what we were talking about when you went away for a minute. When you made yourself
Okay.
a cup of coffee. It opened at Toledo -1.
Okay.
And crazy amount of sharp money came in. And I saw like an article on Action Network about it. And I read up, did my homework. It was gonna be a close game, which it was. If you watch the game like I did, because I'm a true degenerate, I watched Toledo versus Kent State at 2:00
Maction,
today.
baby. Maction.
No, nothing better. I thought it was nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
But that line moved from -1 on Toledo's side to -3 on Kent.
Wow.
So
And guess who got it at +3 Toledo? This guy.
But shout out to Morgan. He's an absolute heater. He's won as the
He's
Kansas
now
game is
10-0
finishing
in
up.
his last college
10
basketball.
and 0.
Wow.
Wonderful
On a
thing, isn't
fucking
it?
tear.
It's on fire.
NBA might be a little chilly, like the temperatures outside, but college basketball, we've proven who the true college basketball gambler is on this show. I have taken the throne as the highest winning percentage, and I am just climbing.
It's a long season. I was just not too long ago. I was 22 games above 500. Not too long
Not
ago.
anymore.
Nope, not anymore. But that's part of the reason why. We'll get into it a little bit, but that's why I bet the way I bet, because sometimes I do get a cold streak and I don't see the card clearly. So, but we're gonna with the new. Actually, I'm gonna go into the new schedule first. We're gonna record every Tuesday and Thursday for you guys. Tuesday is going to be mainly basketball until hockey kicks in. Maybe we'll have some hockey plays, this and that.
Oh, we're gonna have hockey plays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we love
we
our
will
hockey.
for sure.
Yeah, I know they love to gamble on hockey. I'm a diehard Islanders fan, so I never bet on my team, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw in some games here and there. And Thursday until it's going to be football until football's over, and then who knows? Throw some soccer, throw some fucking table
Dude,
tennis in there.
free for all, baby. Some
Thursday,
table
yeah, I wrote down
tennis.
the notes. It's gonna be a free
Big
for
table tennis guy. Big table tennis guy.
big Russian table tennis guy.
Absolutely. Take the underdogs. They pay.
Absolutely. You always take the underdog money line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Oklahoma State.
Like, oh, Billy,
Fucking
you're
boo.
so tilted. I'm sorry, bud.
Oh, you have no idea. Talk to me about
Honestly, I was thinking about it, and I have a solution for you.
hit me.
Okay,
Don't
it's not.
gamble anymore.
Well, that could be one of them, but I'm not going to do that for the sake of the show.
And he
But
knows that way.
my solution would be if you continuously get cucked at the end of games, you should be a first half better.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
That's not a bad idea. I'm also a live better, but I'm having issues with my book. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But that's not a bad idea, because
Just food for thought.
literally in the past 2 weeks have just been brutal to all gamblers. Like overs that are clear overs.
Except for me.
I'm talking about totals and comebacks. Yeah, you're on the wrong side of bets, and that's the problem. You're just getting lucky. Like you don't do anything. Or you just pick a game and you're like, oh, I'll take that game. I know you, Morgan. You're not gonna lie to me. Don't lie to the people either. We're all about
See this trophy here?
clarity on this
See this
podcast.
trophy here? This was the betting Heisman Trophy that has been awarded to me as the best gambler on the show.
That's fair. For now. But who has the better NBA record?
You've bet a quarter of the games I have.
You've bet a quarter of the college basketball games I have.
Who's got a 10-0 winning streak? Who's got a 10-0 winning streak?
That's fair. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's all I'm gonna say.
And if we want to rewind the tapes, I started 0-7 in the NBA. So if you take that out, I'm 26 for 19 out of my last 45.
I forgot
But
we just.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm adding all of my things. I'm 26 for 26. We're gonna. But
erase parts.
I'm hot.
Right?
Yeah, we forget about those things. We move forward. That's what you got to do when you start to win some bets again.
Yep. So, with the new year, along with the new schedule, we're the same degenerates, right? But we want to, make it a little bit more structured, I guess, kind of, sort of. Want to give you guys some segments, make things look a little prettier, maybe get some clips out there for you guys. So, we're going to start off with the first official bad beats of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And how this is going to work, it's not just going to be like, I'm going to be watching Scott Van Pelt on Sports Center. It's not going to be that. It's going to be the games that any of us have money on that have been a bad beat to us. And I already talked about one, but I got a bone to pick. I've got a bone to pick with the boys down in West Virginia. And Derek Culver. Derek Culver is a monster. I'll give him that. That's about all I'll give him. Shout out to the refs who gave Cade Cunningham a charge foul while being triple teamed and getting hacked going to the basket. Shout out to them because he's the only guy that can score in Oklahoma State. They fouled him out with 2.5 minutes to go, and I knew it was over. They blew an 18-point lead with 8 minutes left. It was horrendous, and I will never forget it. The next one is going to be Creighton. I talked about it very, very briefly. They couldn't cover 4.5 because of free throws. And if you bet college basketball, you know how many times you've lost because of just free throws.
That's why I don't bet college basketball anymore.
See, it's because you're a pussy.
Well,
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of talk
guilty.
coming from the guy with the worst record on the
man.
ship.
I mean, get your record up. My record is better than yours this season.
That's debatable.
I haven't bet a college basketball game.
0-0 officially on Twitter. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I mean we have the same record.
But you're 50. Yeah, you're right. Whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever, bro.
Sure.
Which means you can't talk shit because you're not better.
Equal.
Okay.
Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, free throws. These teams, like when I was in high school, I played on the basketball team. Before the end of every practice, you would run until you made your free throws. There's no fans there. There's no fans in 95% of these games. There's no pressure, kids screaming at you, wasted college kids screaming at you, parents looking down on you. There's no pressure. Make the free throw. There's nobody in the gym. You're at practice. This is a scrimmage. Make the free throw. These kids don't know how to make free throws. It blows my mind. And Morgan, I want you to take this last one for us.
My big bad beat of the week?
Yep.
So, yeah, as we open the show up, it was a Happy New Year's to everybody. However, it's not Happy New Year's to those New York Football Giants fans. And I could not be happier about it. One of our fans of the show, Mr. Jared Phillip, one of the biggest Giants fans I know, got absolutely cucked by my boy, Dougie P, with the visor, sitting up there on the sideline, pulling Jalen, I stink so much it hurts, for Nate Studfeld
God.
to make sure the Giants don't make the playoffs and get the Eagles a better draft pick. I don't even think Doug or Peterson and Howie Roseman know what a better draft pick looks like. We're still going to take the kicker out of fucking Auburn in the first round. But we kept the Giants out of the playoffs, who I've been saying for years, the Giants are the Eagles' biggest rival. It's not the Cowboys. Nobody gives a shit about Washington. It's the Giants. And we kept them out of the playoffs, which is actually kind of exciting in the same way because this rivalry was already strong. This rivalry is going to go to whole new levels next year in the coming years. So to all of my Giants fans out there who are listening, who are cursing me on screen right now, who are listening to me on Spotify, YouTube, just flipping me off, fuck you guys too. You're not going to the playoffs. You're just as bad as we are. Maybe win more than 6 games and you can go whine to somebody else about it.
Yep, that's kind of how I feel. That's what I told Jared.
Well said.
Yep, you have to win more than 6 games to get in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I felt like Washington was the best team in that division. So shout out to Alex Smith and his peg leg making it in.
Yeah, I want them to go as far as they can. Honestly, man, that man deserves like a movie made after him. If he makes something happen this year.
I can see it coming. Not one of those like 30 for 30 docs they ever did. I want like a full motion picture blockbuster.
Exactly. Like this is some like Rudy type of shit.
Yep. I want to see Brad Pitt play him or somebody high. You know
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
He's a good looking dude.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Get
saying.
me getting the Miles Teller out there as Alex Smith.
That's fair.
And I'm
I
in.
like that too.
I'll watch
That's
that.
a better choice. Wow.
Miles
Right.
Teller,
maybe we
Philadelphia
should,
boy.
we should also do some movie reviews since we're such savants, you know?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Moneyball for a second. You gotta just love baseball. How do you not get romantic about baseball?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's a classic movie. I just watched it not too long ago. Love it. All right. So let's go into the next segment. Yes, I'm on a cold streak, Morgan, before you blurb it out again. I get it. We're going to work through it. But I was trying to explain to Morgan why I bet on units, using the unit system. This is going to be called Gambling 101. We're going to try to do this every show. Little advice, a little bit of this, little lessons we learned along the way, maybe some lingo, whatever it is. But I think me, Greg, and Sean touched upon this briefly. But since I kind of explained what it was to Morgan the other day, I want to see if he actually learned anything out of this situation. So I've had a bad week. But last week I had a very good week. So I was up 20 games, and I bet consistently the same amount of money for each game. I am down this week, and I bet the same amount of money for each game. I didn't lose my shirt over one game, just throwing the whole house at it. And that's why I use units, because as somebody who bets on a lot of games, like if you want to pick your spots, just slam one game a month. Those pick of the month people, they're just stealing people's money. By the way, I like that's such a sham. There's no actual. You never know what's gonna happen. That's why I use the units to cover my own ass. Because I used to just throw stupid money at one game. Like, oh man, I can't believe I lost that game. I'm never gambling again. I gamble because I like to gamble. At the end of the day, as one of Greg's favorite lines, it's just money. It's just
Money,
money.
baby. That's
It's
it.
just money.
Can't,
Going
can't
to
take it
somebody
to the
else's
grave with
account.
you.
Money can't buy you trophies.
The
Yeah,
Yankees and the Lakers, and there's a lot of teams
they
that
can.
disagree with that.
Yeah, they can.
Definitely can buy you trophies.
What do
But
you
yeah.
think, little Morgan? He thinks we've earned this trophy. It wasn't bought for us. We earned it.
What do you drink? Were you drinking apple cider?
Green tea.
Oh, green tea.
Mm.
Interesting choice. As per
We're
usual, Morgan
detoxing
breaking
this
out.
year. We're
Oh,
detoxing.
new year, new Morgan.
I'm making a vow to not show up to every Tuesday night's episode completely shit faced.
That'd be wonderful. We moved it to Tuesday for those who are avid listeners of the show. It's because Monday night is the Bachelor or Bachelorette, whichever one it is. And
we're in Bachelor season now, and I gotta tell you, the girls have caught my eyes, and they have hook, line, and sinkered my heart.
Yeah, you never gave us those lines.
So what I'm going to do, I actually was thinking about this earlier today. We're not going to do it on a show because I'm just going to be talking to myself because nobody's going to give a shit about it. I'm going to be putting it up on the Twitter page, though, with some lines of some of these girls here. And I'm going to so I can get some pictures in there also. Everyone can see who they are.
Beautiful. That'll be fun.
Be on the lookout for that. I've seen all the contestants at this point. I feel very great about my numbers.
We'll see. We'll see about your numbers.
I'm excited for
it. This is the kind of content you're going to get in this show, Greg. Now as a co-host, we got to bring off-the-cuff gambling kind of things, Billy,
Absolutely.
He's known for losers, right? What's that banner right behind him saying? Me?
Here we go.
I'm the champ, and I bring the Bachelor picks. That's what I do.
Yeah, man, you can bet on anything. You can bet on politics. You can bet on Bitcoin prices. Whatever you want. Bachelor.
I do have a bet. We're going to get into that on Thursday when we do NFL, because I want to talk about like the futures I have, and stuff like that, and some prop bets and whatnot. I do have a Bitcoin price prop bet, because I do be a Bitcoin guy, and I can't wait for that to cash in.
Very nice.
Just gonna stay at the same price. I'm cashing in, baby. Um, we'll get more into the gambling 101 when I have something. Because I once I wrote it down, I realized we kind of went over it already with Greg and Sean. Like once I said it out loud. But next week, Thursday, we'll come back with a little bit of heat. Morgan, you want to go over into your NBA plays a little bit for this week
Yeah, let's talk
before I give
about
you guys some more
NBA
losers?
now. Yes, let's talk a little NBA as the NBA guy who's sitting at 500. However, you want to take out this first 7, he's 26-19, no big deal. We're staying. We're got a nice simmering heat in the NBA right now. We're not scorching hot. We're not Arctic cold like Billy over here. But we're doing all right. We're winning some good money here. So tomorrow's plays that we're gonna have a double dip in the Sixers game. My Sixers, who happen to be the best team in the NBA right now, have the number one defensive efficiency rating in this league. Look fucking phenomenal. All it took was a new coach, Joel Embiid. You want to get him an MVP right now? He's plus 1,200. Maybe jump in there. He's probably the favorite at the moment. Sixers minus 6.5 tomorrow. We're also going to take the under 231. The Sixers over under this year. The over has only hit 1 out of 7 games. So we're going to take the under. The Wizards, they stink. However, if you get a chance to do some player props, take a look at Russell Westbrook's points, rebounds, and assist numbers. It usually sits around low 40s. He gets over that literally every single game. Next game, we're going to take the Celtics plus 2.5 against the Raptors. Raptors stink. They're the worst team against the spread in the NBA this season. They are 1-6. They're terrible. Hawks minus 6.5. I've been kind of pumping the Hawks from day one of this season. I love the Hawks. They're coming together very nicely. We're going to get the Clippers at -5 also. And then might go down as my play of the day. I won't go lock of the day just yet because we're going to see how things go. The play of the day, Bucks Pistons over 227 points. The Pistons are the worst defense I have seen in the past decade. They could not stop anything. It's like you're the Baltimore Ravens defense and Derrick Henry is running through you in the playoffs. They can't stop shit. In this case, Giannis is Derrick Henry. He's going to put up another 30-plus game. So I love the over in that one.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very nice. Did you mean Suns against the Raptors? I think you said Celtics.
Hold on. I think I did say Celtics. I did say Celtics. I'm playing the Celtics. Did I get the team they're playing wrong? Celtics play the Heat. My mistake. Celtics are playing the Heat, so I'm having them plus 2.5. I probably, since we're talking about the Raptors now, I'd probably take the Suns minus 3.5. Greg, I think we were talking earlier. You were taking the Suns minus 3.5 also.
Sure.
Raptors stink. They're absolutely garbage.
They sure are.
Kyle Lowry is, a fucking thick Kevin Hart wannabe out there in the NBA. Fucking Suns big three of Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. They look great. They're a nice team. They're a real up and coming team. I like them. So I might even add the Suns minus 3.5 to the card as well.
I like that as well. Greggy, hit us with your NBA picks.
All right. So yeah, I like what Morgan just had to say about the Suns versus the Raptors. Raptors, total trash can this year. They're just coming off a really, really disappointing loss against the Knicks, who are, they're coming in with a head of steam in some of these games. I'm not. I have the under in wins with them for the season, but that could very well be a loser, and they're playing some good ball. But we're talking about the Suns now. I have them minus 3.5. Suns are 5-2 against the spread. Morgan already said Raptors worst team against the spread in the league. It's a pretty simple pick at 2 buckets. I feel pretty confident in that. Next pick, I have the Wizards 76ers game as well, and I'm going with the under 231. It's a bit too high for my liking. 76ers, top defense in the league. And another sprinkle I'd like to play on that game, Joel Embiid over points. I read something today that he found a new love for passing. I could appreciate that. Sure.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that too, because as the Sixers guy here, I know a ton
Mhm.
about my Joel Embiid. His turnover rate is the lowest it's actually been in his career, and his usage rate is the lowest it's ever been. So he's being efficient with his shots. He's learned how to pass out of the double team in the post. So I like that play right there.
Yeah. And fact is, I would think his over under in points would probably be like 24, something
Yeah, he's
around that
averaging
number.
23.2 points on the season. So I'd say it's going to be around 24, give or take. Probably 24 and a half. And yeah, I'd say take the over. And then another little tiny tidbit in there is Russell Westbrook is Joel Embiid's biggest enemy in the leagues, and he loves to
Very
come
true.
out and dominate anytime Russell Westbrook is on the court with him.
Very true. And he's going up against Thomas Bryant. No defense at all there. He's the worst rated defensive center in the league. And he's going to eat tomorrow night. He will. Next play, I have Indiana Pacers -2 against the Rockets. Again, Pacers, one of the best teams against the spread in the league, 5-2. They're just a solid, fundamental basketball team. You know, their studs are, team guys, and that is not what Houston is. I watched the game against the Mavericks the other night, and Luka beat that team by himself. Because of all the mistakes that Houston continually makes. And fact is, if they put the ball in John Wall's hands more, they would have a better chance of winning games. But that's not going to happen as long as James Harden is getting 40 minutes. So I feel very comfortable with Pacers -2. Next pick, Knicks money line plus
I love that pick.
210 against the Jazz. Coming off a hard, tough loss tonight against the shorthanded Brooklyn Nets. That's a really tough loss for them. And especially going on back-to-backers, I would honestly expect either Gobert or Donovan Mitchell to probably sit out tomorrow. Not a guarantee. I would expect Mitchell to sit more than Gobert. But either way, I think of fresh legs of the Knicks come in and shock the Jazz. Last pick, Bucks -13.5 over the Pistons for the same reason that Morgan said before. Pistons, terrible defense. Terrible defense. They seem to have a new injury every day. Their bigs, especially a power forward, Sadiq Bey and Josh Jackson, both injured right now. And you know what position Giannis plays.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? The man's going to drop 40 tomorrow. Easy.
Easy. actually like almost all of Greg's picks. I was leaning towards the Knicks. I didn't add it to my card yet because of the back to back, and that was
Mm-hmm.
before the Jazz lost tonight. Now I like it even more. The Suns, I think, are just a better team, and the Hawks. If you follow us on Twitter, I bet on every single Hawks game there has been, and it's done well for me since I am leading in the NBA. So my official card would have. I don't know if I'm going the money line with the Knicks, but I will be taking the 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's still the Knicks.
Yes.
Me and Greg live in New York. We understand that they're the Knicks, so anything can happen. But Julius Randle's been playing out of his fucking mind.
Out of his
He
mind.
he looks like a stud in New York. You love to see it. Kentucky, great. Um, but yeah, I really like that Knicks pick. I think that might be the pick of the day. I don't hate the Bucks pick, but they could pull everybody too early, and then it might get out of control. But
Could be a 30-point game at halftime.
yeah. So what you're saying is, as a responsible bettor, I should bet the first half.
I mean, if the line's, it's 13.5 for the game, it's probably going to be like 7.5, 8 for the first half.
Slam it. I'm in on that.
Slamming.
Give me that. Give me that.
Slamming.
That's what I was actually just trying to find a stat for a first half that I will be taking tomorrow in college basketball, but I couldn't find it. But
if you want a prop bet for that Pistons Bucks game, Chris Middleton 3-pointers usually opens up at about 2.5 every single time, and he attempts 6.4 threes per game.
That's free money. I'm hearing free money. All right, so I'm gonna do my spiel of losing college basketball bets. Hopefully not.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this right now, if you have something else to go do, want to go run the vacuum or clean the dishes, run the laundry or something, this is the time to take a break. If you go to the bathroom, now's the chance to go.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Morgan. I knew you were
Welcome.
gonna have
Yeah.
one more thing to say before I started
Oh,
talking.
we're not done. It's
No,
not over
before
yet.
like I knew I was gonna make the announcement, and then I knew you'd have something to say. So you saw how I just like waited.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys and girls. The long overdue. The winning streak is coming. As I tweeted the other day, the vintage 2002 Nelly Hot in Here is coming back. Morgan loved that. He loved it. Would never admit it. He loved that tweet and would never admit it.
He said that tweet and went on to lose every single play that day also.
That's not true. That's not true. That was yesterday. I went 3-5
How
yesterday.
many did you lose?
I'm winning.
I mean, that's
I'm not going over. I would never go.
I mean, I see more losers still.
I would never go over. Sometimes you just got to pick your plays. You know, you don't just follow somebody blindly. Just because I gamble a lot doesn't mean you have to. All right. Without further ado, my first game on the board stuck out to me right away, and I kind of called the line when I was doing the notes this morning. I wrote that if it's under 12 and a half, I'm taking Baylor. I already put the bet in. Minus 11 and a half, Baylor's favored against Oklahoma. The over-under is 151. That might go up, I think, so I took it now. That could go up to 154. Both these teams are averaging over 80 points a game. Baylor's averaging 93 points a game, which is second in the league, only behind Gonzaga, who scored 85 as their season low, which is absurd. Oklahoma's averaging just under 82 points per game. For me, Baylor's the second best team in the country, and it goes Gonzaga. I say this every week. I feel like it's Gonzaga, Baylor, and like 20 steps below, and then there's the rest of the field. Baylor's winning by an average 30 points per game. So like they haven't really played top notch teams, but they're still blowing teams out. Their backups are blowing teams out. They're gonna out rebound them. They're top 10 in turnovers, forced turnovers. They're second in the country in 3-point percentage, top 25 in free throw percentage. What else can you like more about Baylor against Oklahoma, who is a good team? If you think the number's too big for yourself, you take the over because this is going to be a score fest. The next game on my plate, because I'm going to be eating. That's why I'm calling it a plate, Morgan, because I'm fucking eating tomorrow, and I promise you that. I promise you. You're going to regret this. You're going to regret everything you've said tonight. I promise you. Utah State versus New Mexico. Utah State's the better team. I made an absurd amount of money last year on Utah State doing the same thing they're doing this year. They're beaten up in the bottom half of the Mountain West, and they have to cover their ass with the line. That you can't just throw out a 20-point line on New Mexico. They're just a better team. Utah State is 5-3 against the spread. New Mexico is 1-4 against the spread. There's not really much. Utah State is just the better rebounding team, the better offensive team. Everything about them is better. The only thing that's not better would be if it was a name contest, because New Mexico has the player with the best name in the country. His name is Maluch, and every time I hear it, I laugh. He's great. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. But I love when the announcers say his name. I wrote in the notes between 8 and 14. I'm taking Utah State. I'm taking Utah State up to 16. Next one on the board is going to be Boise versus Air Force. Air Force may be good at flying planes, but they are terrible at basketball. They don't know how to rebound.
Worst joke you've ever made.
Come on, dude. That's a gimme. That's a gimme.
Worst joke ever.
Air Force is averaging 24 rebounds a game. That's horrible. Me and you can go out there and get 24 rebounds a game. Simple as that. Boise State blowing people out. They're winning by an average of 18.6 points per game, top 25 in assist per turnover ratio. I love it. Air Force can't play basketball. They got blown out by 40 to Utah State the other day. Got blown out by 30 by Utah State the other day. And Boise can hold their own against Utah. That game would be a 1-point game. So Boise minus 18. I love it. The Virginia under, I have to check the line. I kind of like it. I want to see where it goes. But we're gonna skip all you whistling and were you scrolling through Pornhub while I'm giving these picks? What are you doing over there?
I was actually going to try to find you the line.
What category do I want to watch tonight?
Gambler beats his meat on the sidewalk.
It's fair. That is so fair. The next game is something we talked about when we first released this show. Was fading Duke early in the year because they always start slow and they kind of finish strong. But this is different. Duke doesn't seem to be all that good. Like they haven't played in, I don't know, 2.5 weeks now. They were supposed to play FSU the other night, and I thought that was a little sketchy the way they did that. They said Coach K wasn't going to coach, and then like 20 minutes later they said FSU, oh, the whole FSU team has COVID. And I say, hey, whoa, I already bet on FSU. You can't do that to me. But I'm back, fading Duke again. Boston College, plus 12.5 against the Coach K-less Blue Devils. They don't know what to do on offense, the Blue Devils. It's that simple. They don't have a guy like they had with Zion, Barrett, or they had with Tatum or Redick or anybody. They just don't have that guy who can take the game over. And I don't care what you say about Hurt. He's not all that good. He's not. I watched every game. He's not good, Morgan. He's not. I'm sorry. And the last game it's sketchy. I don't know if I like this line, but I'm taking it anyway. This is the one that's gonna fuck my day up. I can tell you already because it's early in the day. It's St. Joe's against St. Bonnie's. I'm taking the under at 153. St. Joe's is a great defensive team. St. Bonnie's is a good offensive team. It's going to go one way or the other way, but 153 in college is a lot of points already. I'm taking it. I don't think either one of these teams gets to 80 points. And that's it for me for Wednesday. Can I talk about my Thursday card, or you want to make another joke before I do that?
Because I want to make a joke about your last. I just want to make a joke about your last pick. St. Joe's is not even a joke. It's a stat. Is 6-1 to the over so far this season.
That's lovely.
So, yeah. So, if you're listening still, you came back from the bathroom yet, or whatever you were doing, fade that St. Joe's pick. Take the over in that one. Don't listen to Billy. He is drunk currently. With the last money that he had left from his failed gambling expenditures, he bought himself a case of Blue Moon, and then tomorrow he will be out on the corner.
Wow, that was a hot
Yikes.
one. Now, can you go back and tell me those numbers? Because I believe they were all in the low 140s, especially when you're playing that conference.
You give me a second, I'll get you some numbers.
Just because I know they played Nova, which that line was at 138. And didn't that game get real close at the very end and went to free throws?
Well, the big five
to double
always end up
12 minutes left or something like that. Because I was on that under.
That game was like 81-64, from what I remember.
Because which game? Which Big East game am I talking about?
Because I remember I wanted to play that, and the spread was like 18.5. I'm gonna find that.
I'll take it off the card. I'm trying to get the bet.
Let's see what we got. No, leave it on the card. I like it on the card.
Change my mind.
I like it on the card. All right, so here we go. That Nova game was an 88-68 game. Their first game of the year was a 96-91 game with Auburn. Kansas was 94-72. Tennessee 102-66.
Tennessee is
all of these games are high scoring games.
But you
every single one of them.
You see St. Joe's not scoring over 75.
77, 77, 91, 72.
66.
And we're not going to talk about those ones. That
No, of
helps
course
you.
we're not talking about those. They're also playing top competition. They're playing offensive juggernauts. That sounds like 3 of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Morgan, you changed your mind. You changed my mind. I'm taking it off the card.
You're welcome. I'm glad I was
I'm
able to save. I actually just
down on
made you money tomorrow by not losing you money.
No. That's not how it works. So therefore,
You
I'm
should
gonna
take.
ride your. I'm gonna
You
ride
should
your.
take.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I like to hear. You
It's
should
not
take that
that
unit
move.
that you would have used on that game and put it on one of my picks. Because I'm fuego.
Because I think they went outright Rhode Island. So I want to
I
see
do too.
which way it goes. That's why I want to try to take a money line. That's if it gets to 192 plus 200, that'd be great. But I doubt it because Richmond's lost two back-to-back games now. Teams might the public might be all over them to try to cover. I know you like Minnesota. I feel like that line is a little too much, so I would lean Minnesota, but I haven't made that bet yet either. Fuck you, Morgan. I'm going to my Thursday real quick just because there's only 3 teams.
Go for it.
Bryant taking the spread. Doesn't matter what it is. Top 5 3-point shooting team. Top 30 scoring team. 7-1 against the spread. They're giving out free money.
What team's that?
Bryant.
Brian.
Yes. Hofstra, they play on Thursday. It's my team. I bet on them. Win, lose, draw. It's just my team. They're 20 minutes from my house. Got to bet on them. And Belmont, all this team ever does is print money. They're 7-2 against the spread. Their overs hit all the time. This year, not so much, actually, but they've still been hitting. And before I kick it back to you guys, the first half game, I there's no number for it yet. The number should be out soon, I hope. Would be Baylor first half is probably going to be about 7, 6.5 because the line's at 11.5. That's been pretty much free money all year. So that is the first half I will be taking. Morgan, hit me with your losing card tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'm now adding Thursday plays. Also, do you want my tomorrow college first, or do you want me to hit these Thursdays?
Whatever you want.
All right, we'll hit the college. I know. We'll hit the college first. So tomorrow, the hottest college basketball gambler there is. You should ride with me. You ride with the real ones. Greatness respects greatness. Billy once was great. He is no longer great. He has fallen from grace. We are now kicking him while he's down, throwing stuff at him like this remote here. Just throw some things. See if there's any pulse left in there. But for us, we have a pulse over here. We are riding high. So tomorrow, we are going to ride Houston minus 11.5 against Wichita State. We will take Xavier minus 7 against St. John's. Minnesota, kind of has Billy was saying, it's a big number right now, and I like the big number. Minnesota plus 7 with Michigan. I hate to do this, and I'm actually considering flipping it just because it's a Billy pick, and I'm committed to fading everything he plays at this point. But I can't deny that Baylor is the second best team in the country. Probably could give Gonzaga a nice little run for the money. So I will be taking Gonzaga minus 11.5.
Are you taking Gonzaga minus 11.5? Or you taking?
I'm sorry. Baylor.
This is your king.
This guy here, he gets me a little rattled sometimes because I don't want to be like him. So why would I want to make his play and say the same thing he's going to say? You guys listening and watching this right now, you deserve better. You deserve good plays. That's why we brought Greg in. Billy, he ain't cutting it. We're going to have to kick him to the curb soon. We're going to need a third chair eventually. So if you have great gambling content, send it over to Betting Diagonal. The DMs are open. I'll be checking them. If you give me something better than Billy's giving me, he's out. You're in. Plain and simple. We're also going to go – hey, Billy's taking this pick from me too, and I don't like it now. Rhode Island plus 5 versus Richmond. He's just cucking me left and right because he knows how hot I am. And then my last one I'm going to take, I just added this to the card recently. We're going to do VCU minus 6 against George Mason. VCU is actually a pretty solid team. They are 6-2 against the spread this year.
What is it? 6.5? I don't have that line up. I would have taken that. I like that too.
I have it at 6 right now.
See, he hates it now because I said I liked it.
No,
He just
I don't
stuttered.
hate it. I don't hate
It's
it
off the
because it's
card.
not on your card. It's not on the card. I don't hate it. Once it hits the
I
card,
could
then
promise you this will
I'm
be on
like,
my
ooh,
Twitter
I
card
gotta get.
tomorrow.
Yeah, of course it is. He's tailing me now. Why would it be? So anyway, we're looking into some of these Thursday games. I don't have any college ones for you guys yet. That's going to take a little bit more work. But some Thursday ones right off the jump that I'm very much interested for the NBA. Sixers money line versus Brooklyn. That's going to be a great game. However, there's a certain Slim Reaper who will not be playing against the Sixers. The Sixers probably are going to open up as a dog in this game. I would say about a +2 most likely. This is in Brooklyn. Yes, there's no fans or anything. However, it is in Brooklyn, so you still have to travel and everything. Big game. This is going to be a huge test for the Sixers to really show up against one of the big teams. Even Joel Embiid said the other night, we have not played the elite teams yet, so you can't anoint us champions or anything. But I love the Sixers money line. Kyrie has been stifled by the Sixers defense in the past. The team defense the Sixers play, led by Ben Simmons, who looks like he could win Defensive Player of the Year. All those are hating on him constantly that he doesn't shoot enough, doesn't score enough. He might be the best defensive player in the league, very possibly. And then you have Joel Embiid, who's the best center in the league, and like I said, my MVP favorite right now. Next one I'm looking at right now is the Denver Nugget Dallas Mavericks over. Probably going to see that sitting around 227 to 230 is my guess. Those are two extremely explosive offense. Luka is starting to find his stride. He started out very slow shooting from three at the beginning of the year. He's starting to find it. Jokic is averaging a triple-double as a center. That is completely unheard of. He is finding guys open. Michael Porter is having a nice little season. Jamal Murray, after he got fouled out within the first 20 minutes of the first game of the season, is starting to find his shooting groove. So I like him. My third one I'm looking at is going to be the Cleveland money line against Memphis. Memphis without Ja Morant and just the amount of injuries they have, they stink. They cannot score. I watched that game tonight against the Lakers, and it sucked for the Lakers too. They were awful. They can't score. They have nobody who can create a basket. They have to work too hard. They don't have Jaren Jackson out there. They don't have Ja out there. Brandon Clark is coming back from an injury right now. They're just beat up. So I want to take Cleveland money line in that game.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Right.
Greg, you have any Thursday picks?
I didn't really look at them because I didn't know we were going that far.
True.
But
Sure.
when it comes down to it, just looking at it right now. Morgan, by the way, Jazz were -4.5 in Brooklyn tonight.
Were they?
Yeah, so I would think Sixers would probably be like -1,
You might be right.
-2.
Even if it's -1, I wouldn't be shocked if they're -5 because the Sixers are definitely a better team than the Jazz are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're over. Like I said, I'll pump it to right now. Sixers are the best team in basketball right now. You might be -5, you know, and I would still ride the Sixers money line in that one. They're a better team. You know, they can do things defensively that, you know, they can stifle teams. You don't have Durant out there to go get points and everything. It's going to be just Kyrie. They've moved Joe Harris to the bench. You know, he's not shooting the ball well this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a good game. I'm excited to watch that one. I got a buddy whom I don't know if he's watching the show or not, but he and I have a nice little side bet for the year. There's Sixers Nets play each other 3 times. Whoever wins the series, the other is going to buy courtside tickets for the pair of us in the other's home stadium. So
wow.
I am much looking forward to sitting courtside in the Wells Fargo Center. How I became best friends with TJ McConnell, but that's another story for another day. So I'm very much looking forward to that one.
Yeah, were you a ball boy growing up or something?
Yeah,
No.
he's a ball boy of sorts.
We did a nice little finger gun action to each other one day, and next thing you knew, we had a nice little bromance brewing.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that's going to be a fun game. Don't know what side I would go on because I don't have a spread in front of me. But I like that overplay in Nuggets Mavericks. Spurs Lakers, not quite sure yet. Who knows? LeBron could sit that game. AD could sit that game. Gonna need to hear some news first. So, yeah, I don't really have any solid plays set in stone yet.
All right. No
Unfortunately.
worries. No worries. Before we close out the show, Morgan's been telling me how bad I've been all day. And if you're a gambler and you're losing, like me, you're on the cold streak after you just came off a hot streak and you're tilting hard and you don't want to take a day off because you do this for a job. This is your living. You live, eat, sleep, and breathe being a degenerate like I do. Don't fret. You know you see if you don't see the card, don't play as many games. Don't do this. At the end, as Greg always says, it's just money. But for me, I will succeed. I will persevere.
There's no other option.
There is no other option. Like I'm not a professional gambler. Of course not. You can look at my record, you can see I'm not a professional gambler. But I do love what I do. I love doing this show, and I gotta put on for my people back home, my boys on the show. I'm ashamed. I even said it. I apologized to people on Twitter after that card on Friday. That shit was embarrassing. And we'll get better. Morgan, you can go eat shorts. I don't care what you say. You know who's gonna finish better at the end of the year. You can stroke your trophy all you want. Use your little shade. You know, put your little hat on. Put your little Doug Peterson visor on. It won't help. Greg, shout out to you for not talking too much shit. You're a real friend.
I don't have the luxury of doing that just yet.
Yep.
But as I would appreciate, if it's okay with you too, as an incoming co-host, as you both have said, I would love my NBA record to be counted.
Sure.
So I can compete with you too.
Starting tomorrow.
And yeah, let's get this little competition going, boys. I want to get involved.
It would be terrible.
We're going to need to get a real trophy of some sort involved in this, whether it's a belt or a trophy, and we will just ship it back and forth each month to each other. So that way, every night when we record, I can sit here because I'm going to win all 12 months. You can even give me a 13th month in the year, and I'll win that month too. She's going to live here with me, as always, because it's what I do. I win. But in all seriousness, this is positive vibes. We do want Billy to come out of this cold spell. I am loving it. We text back and forth all day long, and I can just see the defeat in his texts. He is just so beaten down. Yeah. I'm laughing hysterically, but we want positive vibes. I send him positive vibes, and I'm trying to bump him up. I'm not playing his picks, but I want to see him succeed. I don't want to see any of my boys lose money. I don't want to see any of my boys really losing plays. Unless they're close in the records to me, then maybe I want to see him lose a little bit. Billy's not close to me anymore, so I'd like to see him win a couple
games off of me. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
We got a nice little teaser here for the crowd. We went 6-0 tonight in college basketball. Just to anyone who's listening, so we're on a roll again.
Before we close out the show, I want to say one more thing about positive vibes. Shout out to my buddy Mike Beneri for he knows I'm on this tilt. And I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I don't know. I can't see the card. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. And he sends me one thing and one thing only. If you ever saw Rocky Balboa, not like the new one, where he's talking to his son, he sends me that speech. He says, "Get your shit together. You're gonna win tomorrow." And what I do, I had a nice even day today. We're on an uptrend. We're on an uptrend, boys.
Boy. It's a good way to look at it.
It was. Speaking of Rocky, and Greg, I don't know if you were paying attention today, Billy and I had a nice GIF war today going back and forth. And he posted a nice little picture of Rocky where he has to win. And I got a nice...
I did see it.
That says, if he dies, he dies.
It was good. It was good.
We got Rocky and Drago in here.
You know.
It was a great time. But as always, everybody, I think we're kind of wrapping it up now. It's been a tough stretch here for Billy. He's going to heat up. We want to see him heat up as Greg and I are his co-hosts. Mm-hmm. As much fun as I'm getting out of this, ragging on him constantly, as much fun as Greg will once he has a winning record over Billy, which Won't be difficult. He's losing every single bet. You just got to win one bet and you're better than him.
Exactly.
We want to
But
see everybody winning. If you're watching this and you're putting up with our shenanigans each week, if you're betting Billy's plays, I'm sorry. You can still bet my plays. They're coming out every single day. Greg's plays are going to be coming out every single day. So you'll be able to get all of us. You can kind of make fun of Billy as well. It's, I'm going to keep doing it. It's what I do. It's my job. It's what I have to do. I am morally bound to do this and just harass. It is the Philly scumbag in me to keep kicking you while you're down.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But to everyone watching this right now, and again, if you're new to us, check us out: Spotify, YouTube. Check out Betting the Diagonal on Twitter. We've got a great page. It's really starting to pop. We're getting a lot more lively interaction coming in. Big things are happening over here. We say it constantly, and it's the more you manifest it, the more it's going to happen. Same with Billy when he says the wins are coming. The wins are coming. You talk it into existence. Maybe it'll happen. That's not going to happen. But Betting Diagonal is going to happen. It's bumping. We are bringing it here. We're bringing you the heat. The new schedule is going to be great for you guys. We're excited about what we got going on. The segments that we're going to bring you guys, it's going to be electric. Maybe we'll have a segment that's just, let's take 10 minutes to rag on Billy's fuck-ups for the week and just have a bad beats by Billy. Not even a bad beat
They're
session.
all
A
gonna be
bad beats by Billy. The quadruple Bs coming to you live Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 11:15, where Greg and I just sit there and harass the fuck out of Billy. Maybe we can make him cry one of these days. I don't know. We'll try.
Maybe. That's not a
But
bad opening
thank
bit.
you for joining us. Yeah. It's a great way to start every episode. Let's break him down right from the get.
All right, boys and girls. Best of luck. We will see you on Thursday for the playoff football / national championship / Billy's on a heater episode. Best of luck to all. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Goodbye, you degenerates.
Peace out.